Episode 10, Plans for Winter. Wednesday, 12th of August 1992. By mid-August, the rhythm of Tessie has changed. Wood and hay no longer feel like survival. They feel like momentum. Peeter Kingsepp's wagons move constantly now, and the numbers begin to add up. Tens of thousands of kroons earned from timber and baled hay, more money than he has ever held at one time. But with it comes pressure. Peeter has made his decision. The firewood machine will be bought. Not someday, soon. He has chosen its location already and begun clearing forest at the site, felling trees that bring immediate income while preparing the ground for something larger. Every cut serves two purposes now: today's earnings and tomorrow's work. Evenings are spent talking with Waltteri. They sit quietly and plan next year's sowing, fields, rotations, risks. After weeks of weighing options, they believe they have found a balance between caution and ambition. It feels good to plan beyond winter. But one worry refuses to leave Peter's mind. As the days shorten, he thinks often of Liis Mägi, the widow living alone at the edge of the valley. He visits her, bringing firewood and news, and finally speaks the thought he has carried for weeks. He offers help, not charity, but partnership. If she allows him to work her unused fields, they will share the harvest. Liis listens quietly. Winter is coming, and choices must be made. Thursday, September 3rd, 1992. The preparations are no longer ideas. They are work, stacked and measured, waiting for the cold months ahead.
Hello, wonderful farming people, and welcome back to 1992 Estonia. And hopefully the trip with the time machine wasn't too bumpy. So this field 12 is pretty much done, and you can imagine it was pretty big job. And these are the last bales that we have here going, and yeah, took quite a while, but it looks good. And also those hay drying poles have been now dismantled and put away, and probably won't need them. Hopefully, we'll see. And quite a bit stuff has been going on because, as you probably noticed, the money, it is up. It is up, and there's a reason for it. I sold basically pretty much all, most of the bales, because we're gonna get these hay bales a lot more. And we made 213 bales, so pretty good. And so a little bit has been put on the storage and for the winter, and also these bales will go to the storage. And I think And I think probably will after that sell everything, because we have enough. We don't have so many of those cows, and yeah. Come on, Max. I'm too picky now. So let's go through to my list a little bit. This tractor, we have an issue with this, and as you can see, the gears, it's only on the 5th gear, pretty much always. Sometimes 4, but I can't get gear number 1 and 2 working, or if this has quite a bit of stress, it's a pain. You know, going with the baler, it's just a pain. There's something wrong with this gearbox, and I changed the oils and things like that, and the oil filter, and I noticed there's loads of metal in the oil. So I think transmission is pretty much done, and that's not a good thing. And yeah, and what else was there? Yeah, this needs to, but there is a couple of options on the store. I think we're gonna, or I have been agreed with the Toms that I will deliver this tractor to them. They will take a look, and if they can find somewhere in some time transmission for this guy, then I could take this for use. I will wait a little bit. I'll just deliver this to their workshop. Oh geez, no, well, you can stay there like that. I don't care. Yeah, so that is quite a big issue now, and that's why it's pretty good that we have a little bit of this extra money. And I really like this tractor, but what can you do? If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. So yeah, and as you saw, I didn't need the weight. It's just on the limit with 2 of these hay bales, and it works pretty good. No weight needed, so I didn't have to spend any money on those. But what I did, I got from the bales, I got 25,632 crowns. So that was pretty good. And then also, now the Toms are actually at the business trip in Finland, and actually they are doing a little bit longer business trip. They are coming back by Sweden, Denmark, and then Poland, and was it Lithuania or something? I can't remember. But they are coming back from Baltics back here. So yeah, quite a long trip. But I was pretty determined with that fireproof wood production, and I did basically ordered it, because we were in contact when they were in Finland, and that looked pretty good. And as you can see on the left there, I have already started preparations for that, and I have sold wood from there. There's actually that trailer, it's full of wood. We're gonna pick it up. So all the wood that I've cut there, from there, was 18,786 crowns. So that is why the money is quite up. But obviously we're gonna we are gonna spend quite a lot of cash on that other tractor. There was, and actually there's a couple of other gear that they have collected already. So, and also I need Arvo to start working. I need to meet him also here at the farm a little bit. So let's just quickly drive there. And we're gonna sell that, upgrade that a mower to another one. So here is going to be the firewood production. I'm gonna make a road kind of alongside with these oaks. Oh yeah, and yeah, look at that nice pile of wood there on the trailer waiting. I don't think I will take this now with us. I will take the mower and this tractor we head to the store. But anyway, maybe I need to cut maybe a little bit more of the woods down, and this is going to be the production here. But I would really like to have a little bit of, storage for the firewood pallets or bags to dry. So that would be quite a good thing. I don't know. Yeah, maybe we can get something done for the next winter. I think so. They will try. We will cut down a lot of those trees. Yeah, and so they start drying on the ground already. So yeah, let's take that mower. That's finally getting rid of this, because there is this kind of pull behind mower that is available, and I think we're gonna take that, because this is just 8 kilometers per hour working speed, and these fields are so big that it takes forever. It just takes forever to do. So yeah, this guy has to go, but what we're getting for a moment, what we are getting, look at there's a warning light also on that gearbox, yeah, on the dash, that red one. So I don't have, I can't afford, broken tractors at this point, so at this time of year. So that is one thing. We just need to get something used, and those guys have also done pretty much everything. They're pretty much done on the forestry project, and that's pretty good. So yeah, I did made the decision for the firewood and purchase it, and we'll see. Hopefully it will come maybe next month or after that. But I will probably cut down those trees from the area already just to let them to start drying. And I made also the decision for that field 12, which was the field that we baled, which was a horrible job. What I'm gonna do with it next year, I am going to, those are actually now same fields. So at this point I'm gonna first, this month I'm gonna roll it and get one more 50% yield harvest from that, and then we're gonna, in the spring we're gonna plow it in, harrow it, make a seed bed, and then seed oats. And I wish I just have enough money at that point to buy our own cedar, because if I would borrow the Ilves brothers cedar, then I don't know how much would they want again. Something unreasonable. Yeah. And one thing is, by the way, I went to visit Mägi widow. I was a little bit concerned of how she's going to manage the next winter, and yeah, she doesn't have any money and nobody to, you know, take care of her, and I did make her a little proposal, and obviously, yeah, but she was touched with my suggestion, but we'll see what she answers, because yeah, there's something else, but we'll see what she answers. But she didn't decide yet, but I will tell you when she has made a decision. So let's put this guy waiting for that gearbox thing. So, and sell that guy. Yeah, we're just gonna sell it out. 900, yeah. Well, it's something. Yeah, so now we're gonna spend some money, and as you can see here, quite another stuff they have gathered. Yeah, forge grid tractor, a little bit older one, but this will be ours at this point, because it has front loader, and I think it was like 80 or 90 horsepower, I'm not sure, but we're gonna take this guy. I will transfer the money to Tams, and they got also this kind of forge grid harvester from somewhere. I don't know where they got this, but anyway, we got a harvester at the village. Probably will go to Ilves brothers, so I don't know. And also wheel loader. Yeah. Or I'm not actually sure. Is it for sale, or is it for the Ilves, the Tom's own purchases for, you know, for winter time? Yeah, to make some maybe contract thingies for the county municipality, for plowing roads or something like that. I don't know. But what we are going to buy? We are going to buy, first of all, the mower. Here. And here, this guy. Only 2,500. So that's pretty good. What kind of a configuration there is? Oh no, we don't need those. We're gonna go just with one cutting model. So it's same price with 4. Oh, it's a little bit higher. Let's take that lower one, yeah. And hitch height. Well, we can change it. It's easy to bolt. Let's put it like that now. And was there anything else here? Yeah, these guys. I remember these tire things. Because we're gonna move it on the road. I don't wanna spoil the roads that we have. We're gonna take that. It's only 200. Yeah, that's what we are going to get, and yeah, the colors can be like that. So 2,700. That's pretty good. buy that. And we are going to get this tractor here. It's already settled, and I will just transfer the money for this. I think this was like 16 or 18,000. Yeah, but that will go. I kind of like it. Looks pretty awesome. And that's a really good thing, that front loader thing. Yeah. So here, 15 kilometers per hour working speed on this guy. So this is basically pretty much double that we have. So it's a little bit narrower, but it doesn't matter because the speed was the problem. And next month we start cutting, so that is awesome. But yeah, I will bring you back. I think next month. There's only things that we do now is roll that field, that 12. That takes quite a long time, and then cut all the grass fields. Hey, cut, ted it, windrow it, and bale it. Yeah, pretty much the same stuff. So I think it will going to be a lot of bales, but we'll see how much there will be. I will just I don't know. Should I do it? Maybe I will do a montage of that job. Yeah, that we probably do a little montage of that, because it will take basically a month from this moment. So you get to see a little bit of what's going on. So yeah, that we will do. And then there's the next month also starts the seeding for winter wheat and barley with Ilves brothers. They're gonna start doing that, and yeah, and hopefully Mägi will make the decision during that time, so I can let you know if my plan goes well. Okay, I will see you at some time in August. No, August. What is the month? September. Yeah, always need to translate the month in my head to another from Finnish language. All right, see you after these tours.
Peter's mother, Marja Kingsepp. Before the fields were measured in hectares, before engines replaced horses, this land was kept alive by quieter hands. Peter's mother was one of them. She never spoke loudly about the work she did. She believed the land remembered effort, not words. Through the long Soviet years, she kept the household together, patching clothes, saving seed, tending animals that were never truly theirs. She understood scarcity long before it became visible. When Peter was young, she taught him patience. That nothing grows faster just because you demand it to. That soil gives back only what it is given, and often much later. She did not live to see Estonia free again. She never saw the kolkhoz gates open, never watched the land return to the names carved deep into memory. Her hands are absent from these fields now, but her work is not. Every bale lifted, every row cut clean under the sun, carries the quiet lessons she left behind. And when Peter works until exhaustion, when he chooses to help others before himself, when he believes this land is worth saving, he is still following her example.
Okay, finally, welcome back, guys. Arvo is rolling the field over there, and as you saw on the montage, it took a really long time to do this job. It was like, we're now on September 3rd evening, and it was like 2 weeks maybe in real life that this took time, and yeah, have been having a little motivation issues, but it's okay now. Maybe I will get over it now. We'll see. So a whole lot of stuff has been going on, and as you can see, we are back on 40,000, and quite a few stuff on my list. So the poles, hay poles have been removed. They are back on the storage, and the thumbs have arrived from their trip to the north. So the firewood machine has been ordered. I will do a payment of that 40,000 pretty soon, one of these days, and yeah, that is coming. And also they had pretty interesting news, because they came through Denmark and Poland and by the road from that way. So they ran up, or were presented by this new breed of cows. You know, it was a cow breed that mainly is produced for meat, and they are really good surviving through winter and cold conditions, and obviously they immediately thought of me, and yeah, I'm be interested, because we need to move our cows to that old barn, the other barn, which doesn't have a pasture. or grazing. So we're just selling this wood and get a little bit more money, but all the trees have been, by the way, cut down there. I think that is enough space for now for the firewood machine. We'll see when it comes. And yeah, so the cow, our milking cows should be transferred to the other cow shed. So those would be a really nice add-on, you know, to graze on there. Obviously we will feed them, but they don't need any straw. Maybe under the roof maybe, but you know, they like cold weather and snow and things like that. So I'm kind of very interested. We'll see how the money, financial side goes. And also for future plans. Mägi widow agreed to my proposal, so that is a really good thing. And so the deal was that she don't have to worry about firewood or anything like that. I will provide her free firewood through the winter and basically all the time, and we get to cultivate their fields. Yeah, it's a pretty good amount. So 20, 19, 18 and 17, I don't know what to put in them. Probably some kind of a crop maybe. We'll see, but anyway, and then we will split again 50-50 for the produce of that crop. So that would be really good. Probably something that we could grind for flour, because of the Ilves guys brothers have the windmill, and also there's this big grain mill which is now just standing there, useless. But anyway, she agreed on that, and I have also little future plans for her talent, because she was a textile worker earlier, and she is pretty handy with her hands, knitting and things like that. So maybe we can at some point do something together. We'll see. But anyway, yeah, and the tractor, this guy, this was 18,800. I think it was this guy, yeah. And I repaired it for 2073, so this was, yeah, it was this guy, obviously. Oh my God. Yeah, but that is where money went quite a lot, and also money went quite a lot for Arbo's paycheck, but that is only a good thing. And then I bought 5 more cows. They are now on their at our cow shed, and there is actually over 2,000 liters of, let's see, 2,000 liters of milk, so 2,700. So I can basically deliver and start the Thumb family's dairy. Yeah, that will be awesome. So they can get a little bit. I can't remember if there are any new stuff here that you haven't seen. Maybe that wheel loader. I don't know. I think I don't know. I can't remember. It has been so long time ago. Maybe this trailer. I don't know. This was popped in at some point. I can't remember when. Yeah, but not the good news from our broken down one. So the transmission is really busted here, and they went through Poland and trying to find new transmission for it, but it was not success. So maybe I will just give up on this guy and sell it back cheap for the chums, and they can do what they see is the best thing. Yeah. Yeah, and money-wise, yeah, bales. We actually made 256 bales out of those 4 fields. Oh my dear Lord. I don't know. Do I have stamina to do it again? 2,800. Okay, that is pretty awesome. Yeah, it is really slow, and one issue is with this big field, this guy. Somehow the AI lost its track on this field, and also this is really a little bit problematic because every time these are mowed, the fields are expanding. You know, it makes a new field every time you mow the grass. So because we got so nice amount of those bales now that I'm thinking that I am going to plow them in and make a crop, maybe that oat from both of those. And I think these 3 fields would be enough for our cattle because we don't have so much of those many of those cows. So yeah, that would be probably the best. And then the fields for the AI would be corrected also. Yeah, that is one thing. And also I bought chicken feed, so I bought 3,000 liters and this was 5,875, but now the chickens have feed for the winter time, so that is pretty good. And actually it would be really nice to get that firewood machine really quickly so we can get to try that firewood quite a lot. And everybody is wanting to buy them and getting firewood ready to go. Don't need to do the extra labor and waiting and things like that. So it has been like an agreement that I will deliver 1 bag of firewood every month. So that's pretty awesome constant money for the winter, and there's quite a few places where we will deliver, but we will see about that on the next episode. Yeah, and I think that was it. The bales were, I sold 31,922 kroons of those hay bales, and firewood has been sold 11,660. So that was the 4th load now, which we just delivered. So that's pretty awesome money. And yeah, and we I think we have like 70 bales on the storage, so that's pretty cool. And that is more than enough for the winter time. But I do need to buy the straw, obviously. And also I have been looking, the Ilves brothers have been working on their fields. They have, by the way, pickup truck. They bought that, and they have been, I don't know how much money, they have been doing pretty nice job with the forest, and those guys are finishing up right there. Let's take a quick peek on there. So yeah, they have planted obviously these 3 fields are 50% of these are ours. So a couple of wheat fields, winter wheat and winter barley. So pretty nice stuff. Yeah, and yeah, I will just continue and we will head to the winter, get that firewood machine going here and take a look at this. Yeah, it's pretty much done. They have left those Scotch pine trees for seed trees, so they are probably getting new trees in 20 or 30 years. But anyway, looking pretty bare. Yeah, few trees only that like cleaning up the place. But this pretty on the final stint, as they say. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think there's nothing else to do than the Arbor is he can continue working. For me, rolling those fields, now we'll just clean up a little bit on the firewood spot that we selected. Maybe we need at some point to maybe a little road on there or something like that. We'll see. But anyway, yeah, we will continue. And soon the leaves are getting their beautiful autumn color, and I don't know about the cows, how we do it, because obviously Estonia we don't have yet any registry for the animals, so that is a little bit of a Wild West. So they are not marked on the years, and it was this time that it wasn't necessary. Yeah, it wasn't established yet here, that system, but I think it was something like maybe midway 90s that it came, if I can recall correctly. Mid-90s, yeah, probably was the established here. I have it in my notes, but I can't remember. But it hit a like, and let's continue our adventure here.
The first milk delivery leaves the Kingsepp yard and rolls toward the town dairy. A small moment, but the beginning of something steady. Arvo and Peter push through long days, rolling grass fields smooth for next year's growth. From Denmark, word arrives of a new cattle breed soon to come, haddy, different, full of promise, and before the frost takes hold, the last apples and greenhouse crops are harvested and sold. Autumn approaches quietly, and with it, the farm steps into a new phase, one built not just on survival, but on continuity. Episode 11 awaits. Join us and subscribe to the channel to be notified.